Welcome to Dunamis Woman, where we are breaking through barriers for great success. We are located right here at 423 East 158th Street in South Holland, Illinois. Dunamis Woman Life Coaching Institute, where we expect to see you real soon. My name is Dee Collins. I'm your strategic life coach, and we are here to have an awesome show to educate you and to empower you about one of the biggest barriers that we as women face, and that is in our health. However, we want to empower you. We want you to call someone and tell them to turn into the station, because you are going to be hearing facts and some truth about some myths that we do not really realize how much the education is false. I am here with a group of women that are so crazy. They're just relentless. They're just dunamis. They are fortified and they're determined to create change in the earth. And I want to welcome you to Access Community Health Network, who is here as a guest on my show. And I have Sisters Connect. Man, that's one of the many programs.
Right.
That's at Access Community Health Network. Am I right?
Correct.
One out of how many, Keisha?
And my department alone is 1 out of 13 programs.
1 out of 13 programs.
Right.
And all of you all programs are centered around medical.
Medical, high risk, women, children, male who are at risk of HIV, any STIs, and Hep C.
Okay. So what you all do is not only treat them, but you also educate them.
Right.
And you empower them.
Exactly.
Okay? And that's where the Sisters Connect program has been created. And we are penetrating the South Suburban community area as well as the South Side area to get women to come in, to get connected, to get education, to get empowerment. What's the first myth about HIV that you think that are out there that we as women really, really should know and break that myth?
Well, the first myth that I would think, and I know, is that women feel like if they're married, then they're not at risk of becoming infected with the virus.
Okay.
And as anyone know, if you are in a relationship with anyone, whether you're married or not, you are never in a monogamous relationship, only with yourself.
Oh.
So you should be tested at all times if you're not using protection.
So it's really a preventative measure.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we're not telling you to go home and
chastise your husband.
Who you been sleeping with? Right. They say it.
Right.
You married and you ain't faithful.
Right. Right. Exactly.
We're not talking about that, but what we are saying is that treasure your own body.
Exactly.
Okay, and don't take anything for granted.
Right.
Know that you can always be at risk, because even if someone is stepping out on you, even when you may be married or you may be in a relationship that you think is monogamous, it might not be what you think it is.
Exactly.
And then before you know it, you can have occurred or encountered some type of disease such as HIV.
Right.
And now you have to make other decisions.
Correct.
Okay, so we want you all to be proactive and not reactive. So with the Sisters Connect program, Monica, Kim, let me start with you, Monica. You're a facilitator of the Sisters Connect program. Mm-hmm. What is that program all about?
The program is all about empowering African American females 18 and above.
Okay.
And what we do is we hold 6 sessions for 6 weeks, and we go through each session and we have fun and we empower the women and we talk about just different things in every session, so that it's not just the same thing every session.
Okay.
So we again, we empower the ladies. We have a lot of fun. We teach, we educate, we test, mm-hmm. and we just give the women knowledge that they need.
Okay. And not only just about HIV, but you give them knowledge about themselves.
We give them knowledge about our culture as being African American women. We teach. We bring up things that they may not have been even thinking about, mm-hmm. As far as our ethnic and our gender pride.
Correct.
So we empower them. We make them think about things that they just have no clue it should be thought about.
Being assertive and standing up for ourselves is something that we have embraced in the African American community.
Right.
You're shaking your head no, Monica. Come on, elaborate.
Well, it just appears that in our culture, the man is the one who stands to be at the head of the family. Mm-hmm. So mm-hmm. you don't be assertive with that man at the head of the family. Mm-hmm. You are more non-assertive.
Correct. And
you give him and let him make the choices there are to be made. Today's society, we need to be more assertive, mm-hmm. and letting our men know what it is we need as African American females, so that we not only can keep ourselves healthy, but we can be on the same level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why, with the Sisters Connect program, with, Dunamis Women and partnering, I'm really, really, for me, I'm more empathic, because our young girls, older as well, you know, and we can't give our younger girls, particularly as older women, something that we don't have.
Right.
And it's sad that many of us are still giving our bodies away, you know, just to maintain a relationship, just to keep a man, you know, and we haven't really been taught how to say what we want. You know, we have been deemed to feel that our bodies or what we want is to please our man, you know, and sex is really for me to be pleased just as well as it's for you to be pleased, but that's a whole nother show.
Right, exactly. Right.
That's a whole other show,
right.
you know. But a lot of our young girls, 18 probably, and you all correct me if I'm wrong, to 25, 30,
right.
you know, they're just indulging in relations and in sexual relations because their man wants it.
Exactly.
You know, and they said, okay, let me go and do this so he won't get mad, you know, and he won't go off with my girlfriend, you know, or they would use this threat, well, if you don't give it to me,
somebody
else will. And the assertiveness skills is to help us to understand that that's okay.
Right.
You know, if you can't value what I believe and what I want, then it's okay to have to take this relationship as a loss.
Exactly.
And we end it all with coping skills. We tell them, we've given you the steps, we've given you the toolbox, not meaning that once you leave this, then you know how to do the whole SISTA intervention. But it takes practice to be assertive.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You may not always get positive results in being assertive to your partner.
Right.
But it's a practice. It's a learned behavior. We all know how to be aggressive, but it takes time and practice to be assertive and assert yourself.
Well, and I think people's aggressiveness skills come out after they have taken so much.
Exactly.
You know, so in other words, I have been wanting to say this for
so long that
and
now
I've been holding it in, and now you push that button.
Right.
I'm going completely off.
And the good thing about SISTA as well that they haven't talked about is that you also get opportunity to bring homework assignments home with your partners to like practice these exercises and then bring them back to class to share that they actually are being done appropriately according to what they've been taught. And then he's also an opportunity to bring their partners in and they can actually do some role playing. So it's not like they just doing it all by being done in a intervention setting by themselves and they got to go home and put all this to play, but they actually get a chance to show like I'm doing it right, or maybe I could do something a little bit differently. So it actually helps them practice those techniques too.
And we had a young lady yesterday in group saying that she asserted herself with her partner. And she was very proud of herself. Her partner was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Where did this come from? And she stood on what she believed. She wasn't aggressive. She did use the I statement. She used eye contact. And the head wasn't going and this wasn't all that. You know, let me tell you this. Down pack, but she didn't do that. And he didn't argue back and said, okay, if that's what you want. And we were very excited for her.
And I don't think it's, you know, what's wrong with a woman, you know, saying, I want sex. I want it this way. I want you to do this. And I want you to touch that. And I want you to touch it a certain type of way.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, those are applying. So we're not here to just say, oh, man, you know, you're going to be HIV, you know. But what we're saying is that govern your life,
right?
You know, take control of what you want, you know. And we're so used to being closed mouth, you know, and going with what everybody else wants,
right?
You know, and I think that that's really, really needed, you know, because many of you all are listening to us right now. You'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm good, you know, I don't need nothing about no HIV, you know, and all that. But let me tell you something, you know, even if you feel that you're good, what about your daughter? What about your sister? What about Auntie Moo Moo? You know, what about all those people that surround you? What about the ones in your community?
Right.
You know? And that's what we want to focus on. We're going to take a break, but I want to come back and I want to talk about community because you all are doing a Sister Connect program on the west side.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're penetrating this throughout the south side. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And so now we are going through the south suburban community.
Yes.
Right.
And I want to talk about how there are no biases or any differences based upon community. You all going to stay with me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You stay with me too. We'll be right back.